Backlash to unexpected fees prompted Airbnb to roll out new features to increase pricing transparency last year. CEO Brian Chesky telling us at the time the changes were done to improve the user experience on the platform.
What we're asking hosts is to do reasonable tasks, not ask for anything unreasonable. We're setting new guidelines, and anything a host requests, we want to make sure that's upfront stated so you know what you're getting into before the booking. So I think the combination of showing an upfront price, showing better values up top, providing more discount tools for hosts to provide better deals, and more guidelines to provide more reasonable checkout tasks, hopefully people feel like this is an even more guest-friendly service to them.
Well, with the busy summer travel season now underway, Yahoo Finance contributor Vera Gibbons is taking a look at how those changes have resonated with customers. What's the verdict?
They are resonating well. I mean, the good thing about Airbnb is that they do take customer feedback very seriously and do make the changes on an as-needed basis. So a lot of people were complaining about the cleaning fees. They were going ahead and booking the properties that they thought were perfect for their family, idyllic setting. And then once they completed the booking, they were like, wait a minute, this total fee didn't include cleaning fees, and that put the budget, way out of whack. So they're going with greater transparency on that. And then the other problem that Airbnb users were complaining about was the list of chores that hosts were having them do prior to actually checking out. I mean, they were getting really extensive, and Airbnb users were feeling like the hosts were sort of double dipping because a lot of those chores were cleaning related, strip the bed, do the dishes, take the garbage out. So they complained, Airbnb listened, and the changes that went into effect recently over the course of the summer, or they're rolling out now, have been resonating quite well with consumers.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Chesky saying that, look, it's reasonable to ask hosts or for hosts to ask guests to throw out the trash, not to strip the sheets and wash them before you leave. When you compare it to hotels, though, how does the price point work out? Now that there's a little more transparency, what are you finding right now in terms of that comparison and whether travelers are still sticking to Airbnb?
Travelers are still sticking to Airbnb. A lot of people like it, particularly families, because you can cook, you can grill, you save money on, dining out, do everything right in the comforts of your home. You get the amenities. For short-term stays, Airbnb does provide a better value than going the hotel route. And the short-term stays is really where the growth is. That has been the case for some time now. The short-term stays really sort of heated up over the course of the pandemic, and that's continuing to gain momentum into summer 2023. Now, it is going to be a very busy summer. Demand is ridiculous, both domestic travel and international travel. It's going to be an expensive summer for travel, no matter how you slice it. I mean, you can't get around that. And it's going to be packed wherever you actually go. But the good news now is when you're searching on Airbnb, you will see the total price up front. That's the whole transparency thing that they're talking about. You are going to see a more reasonable list of checkout chores. That's the other thing they were really, dead set on setting the record straight on that one. So it is going to be an all-around better experience, but it is going to be expensive to travel this summer because the demand is just ridiculous. I mean, it's through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, I'm certainly one of those travelers that I can't remember the last time I stayed at a hotel because I always do book on Airbnb because of that very experience you talked about. From a value standpoint, though, which one offers more value? Is it the hotel stay or is it Airbnb?
It's still Airbnb from a value standpoint. I ran that question by a couple of experts and they all sort of agreed and said, you're still getting better value with Airbnb despite the fact that the fees are up. And in some of those uber hot markets where, Nantucket, the Cape, the Hamptons, those cleaning fees could be, 50, 60% of the total stay. So they do add up and they're not going away. But in those hot markets, you will just have to pay through the nose. But regardless, factor in everything else, it's still the better value than going the hotel route.
Okay, you got us all thinking about the summer plans or summer vacation. Vera Gibbons, as always, thanks so much for that.
Thank you.